Hello again. Thanks for coming back to watch some more chess. So we get the black pieces. If our opponent wants a game, he joined in June of this year. D4. D4. Let's see if we can get a Grunfeld. He plays a London. Yeah, the London. Okay, so we'll go with our anti-London here. It's not really an anti-London. I don't know what an anti-London is, but I wish there was one. Um, So do I want outside the pawn chain? He's threatening to take, then reinforce, but then I'd have a chance to kick. So I don't think he wants to take. What if I just take this diagonal here to come out to b3, threaten b7? Come on, kitty. Okay. So I've taken this diagonal from him. Normally he wants to get out there. I think that might have been a square he wanted his bishop on, but it's normal for him to get the knight developed here as well. I don't really know the London system. But to be quite honest, after my game with the Petrov a couple weeks back, I think I might try to go more positional in those drawish games. I think the way for me to get better at my end game is to force myself to play more end games. And so many of my openings that I play currently are just they're very tactical and very messy in the middle game, and frequently very decisive in the middle game. But drawish openings and middle games might lead to a better understanding of the end game. I'm kind of leaning a direction where I might start trying to play some drawish openings. C4. What does that do? Takes, takes. And then he gets his bishop out, but he could have gotten his bishop out anyway. I don't know the purpose behind. Well, I mean, he's attacking the center, but it seems to have been done delayed, and I think I want to challenge his bishop. He's going to back it up so that he can take with the H pawn if I want to swap. Now I'm going to take here. And maybe invite opening of the center. My opponent's still kind of stuck in the middle. He takes with the knight to attack this. What do you want, kitty? The kitty wants attention. Or she wants outside. I don't know which. There you go. So I'm not too worried about him taking there. But well, then I have to take away from the center. And if he takes in the middle, I have to take back with a knight. This pawn is doing a really great job keeping this knight at bay. So I think I'm going to take with the knight. And then I'm going to get castles. He needs to get this bishop developed. I don't think he wants to take in the middle and allow me to open the e-file before he gets castled. So he pushes this pawn, and he wants me to decide what I'm doing in the middle of the board. Pretty tempted to take. That gets him an open H file. Could be dangerous for me. I hmm. I'm uncertain. I think I'm going to take because I think I have the opportunity to force open the center. He can reinforce with this. I'm going to come here to pin the knight and bring my knight here so that if he does come f4, then the g3 pawn hangs. That was a terrible arrow there. That's pinning the knight. And this is all kind of preparing. Okay. So he's preparing this. Yeah, I should have been able to anticipate that. That's just not, I mean, that's very predictable. A3 and B4. The queen's going to be forced back here. Delays castling a little bit. And from C7, I still have an eye on G4, G3. So I'm going to break in the center. But if he pushes this, my queen doesn't see G3. My knight can be traded off. Ah, he's going to protect it. Is that worth a rook? Might be. That might be worth a rook. Can't block with the queen. Because if I check with the queen, then I'll have an eye on this rook. So he takes with the knight. And it's not going to stay there. I've got the bishop protecting h7, so there's no queen ideas. He can develop his bishop here now. He might ought to think about castling. E-file's open, and that's looking very dangerous. I'm going to get to kick his knight. And I don't think he can keep it there. And if he moves the knight now, I have a discovered check and win the queen. So he's got to give up the knight. And he can take my knight. And I will take back 9 G2. Then he's still got to move the knight. But he can block G2. And then I still get the discovered check, winning the queen. Think he might have waited too long. He's going to go down a knight here at least, I believe. There's no saving this knight without losing the queen. He takes and I take, and he castles. I just win the knight. He can attack here. Then I retreat the bishop, and the knight's pinned and can't move. And I win the knight. And pin and win. He tries queen b3. I can go bishop f7 because the knight's still pinned and can't take the bishop. Okay, he's going to have a formidable pawn structure. Does he take this way or this way? This way gives me a passed pawn. It also gives him one. Okay. Let's anchor that bishop right there in the middle of the board. If that pawn isn't going anywhere. I'm going to swing my rook over. Maybe after taking the queen. These pawns are going to be quite annoying. Thought we break these up over here. He's going to try and kick my rook. I'll kick his queen. Back to protect this pawn. I'm going to try and break these up over here so I can get my queen in. Some checks on this diagonal. I need some open space, clear off some of these pawns. You come here, but that gives me this. Come back and threaten this. King here. Check. He's got to take this bishop. Even if he does, I check first. Start the king running. Oh. Well, that does protect this square from the check. I check here, king here, bishop takes. Check. Nah, probably can't do that. Rook takes. Queen here, and the rook blocks. So no, I can't do that. I'm gonna check anyway, and then I think I might swing my rook over here for a discover on the queen and king after the fact. I'll swing my rook over here. Now I can check, and if here, my queen's attacked as well. I'd have to double check. And he resigned. Good game. Take a look at the analysis and see if I blundered anything. 81%. Opponent had one blunder. I had a miss and a mistake. Calling this an Indian game. It's an old Indian. Not super accurate by my opponent, but it was a nice test. I mean, the London is very vanilla chess, and that was a bit of an error on his part. I felt like this was very similar to Grunfeld structures, and I was trying to go for a Grunfeld anyway. Black has a 0.4 edge here, and I give it right back by offering to trade off. What are the, see, what are the better options there? Bishop e6 attacking here. Mistake. And this was my mistake. Bringing the rook to the middle was my mistake. Why is that a mistake? What are my other ideas here? Just bringing the knight immediately? That doesn't feel right. Also a mistake. Breaking in the center also doesn't feel right. I don't have anything on that at the moment. I mean, I would win here, but he's going to kick my queen first, so I wouldn't win here. Bishop here. I don't like that either. My best move might just be to back the queen off. Queen to c2, c7, queen c7. Inaccurate. What do you want me to do here, computer? It wants me to break in the middle. Now this is confusing to me. Why does it want me to break in the middle? If takes, I mean, I couldn't take there. My knight's hanging, but I could come here. He's going to kick my queen. And I'm going to come back. He's going to fortify with f4. Go knight to e3, attacking the queen and the bishop. I don't know. It seems dodgy to me, but it says it works. 0.3 edge. Not a ringing endorsement. blunder to take, right? Yeah, this cost him a piece. That knight's pinned, and I don't see a way to unpin it. It's a miss. I missed my opportunity here. Wants me to take. Okay, I did entertain that idea for a second. It takes and takes. Queen can't block because he loses this rook, so he blocks with the bishop. So it takes, bishop blocks, and then what? Rook e8. The king can't castle because then I would win the piece back. I would win the piece. I'd have two minors for the rook. That does seem pretty ferocious. I didn't look deep enough and see this rook over here. Maybe I dismissed that idea too quickly. But I ended up winning the knight anyway. Hmm. Oh yeah, I should have just checked here. Should have just checked there. And he resigned. Well, that was a fun game. That was all right, I suppose, for being a London. Like, share, subscribe, and come back for some more chess.